Today marks the end of Lil Durk. It was just announced Chicago rapper Lil Durk's sister-in-law calls King Von's cousin OTF Vonni a rat and a snitch. In the M for Hire Fed case, in an IG post, as in the court today, his file was updated, showing that he's no longer in the Bureau of Prisons custody, which means that he has now been released from jail, likely on a house arrest. OTF Vonni would then get his hands on a cell phone, where he would text somebody very close to him, but that person then flipped on Vonni for snitching and he leaked everything. OTF Vonni texted, "Yeah, I'm trying to plea out on a 32, which is the base for an M for Hire. Max is 43, which is life, but I would get -2 points for a plea, -1 point for an early plea, -2 points for no background, so I'll then have 27 points, which is only 5 to 7 years. It's better than that because I can't go to trial. I might get an elbow. I don't want them to do me like them other boys." When saying he doesn't want to get got like the other boys, he's actually referring to OTF Jam, who also snitched on Lil Durk, but more on what happened to him later. However, I was able to find the answer as to why OTF snitched on Durk, and let me explain. In OTF, there is 3 main guys left, being Lil Durk, OTF Vonni, and OTF Didi. It was announced this new Lil Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Lil Durk and OTF members have now changed the case. Durk's lawyers submitted paperwork for an extended time on their bond proposal, which raises the question of who is Lil Ted and what did he say to the feds? Lil Ted is known as OTF Didi's brother, who is also related to OTF Vonni, which those two are the 2 main OTF guys alongside Durk. So when Lil Ted was arrested by police at a local convenience store, he had a firearm in his jeans pocket, which is a serious crime, but it also played out perfectly for Vonni and Didi.
Really?
Dude had a what about that? A man had a with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
With Lil Ted now being arrested, alongside Vonni and Didi already in prison with Durk, they would all gang up against Durk, take family ties to a new level, and snitch out. Because when Lil Ted was being driven to the police station, even before he got inside, he had tears coming down his face as he told police, "I swear I'll tell y'all about the passings," hoping not to be placed into jail, but he was already too late for him.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
Being placed into the waiting cell, Lil Ted is seen crying his eyes out, wanting nothing more to just snitch on the gang members he knows in OTF and be taken out of jail to go home.
Wait, hold on, you gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 7 what you saying, man?
We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright?
We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
Give me no, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
Out of the 3, Lil Ted was the first one in court paperwork to start snitching in the OTF case. So when there was news of someone snitching with the family's last name in the court paperwork, everyone believed that it was OTF Didi, but in reality, it was actually his younger brother. But now, with Didi and Vonni snitching out, it realistically happened due to their mothers and family sitting them down and convincing them to not throw away their own lives, which is very common in a situation like this. As with them having family ties for their entire lives, the police knew that. They likely got them all in one room together just to all flip on Lil Durk. As while they're snitching out, making their own situation better, Lil Durk is going through it. In case you missed it, the news wrote, Chicago rapper Lil Durk was involved in an altercation inside a jail this morning. This resulted in Lil Baby tweeting, "I don't care about nothing else other than Durk right now. Free the bro." As the entire world was trying to figure out what happened to Lil Durk, but it all began with a tweet of, Lil Durk's day one homie Gleesh passed away last night in Chicago, meaning this is now several OTF members that have been targeted, which raises the question of who would want revenge against OTF. This is when fans noticed the same day OTF members were being dealt with, Quando Rondo and Lil Tim did separate interviews, but they were released on the exact same day. Many look at it as a weird coincidence, but others believe that it was a way for the feds to not investigate them for putting a hit out on Lil Durk, using it as a good alibi. As Lil Tim said,
No, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying him shit like that, cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
As Quando Rondo even said the exact same thing, saying that he wishes it was handled a different way.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever like that. It could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
Two ops of Lil Durk both doing an interview on the same day, praising Lil Durk and wishing things were handled a different way. This definitely did not seem suspicious, but many believe they acted fast on Lil Durk because he was just about to be released from jail. To understand when his release date is, it's important to know the news of words from Durk's father have Lil Durk being released on a bond. With this being his third attempt, his lawyers made an offer so great the judge can't refuse it.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for the release for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you, and inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
As the prosecutors dropped evidence against Lil Durk, which resulted in him having a release date. The news wrote, today Lil Durk's court hearing had the prosecutors telling the judge they are willingly throwing away evidence against Durk, while reading it out loud during his court hearing in front of everyone. I wonder how this will affect the rest of his bond hearing, as the prosecutors announced they dropped the evidence against Durk, which is great news, but the way they did it was so corrupt. They would stand up in front of the judge and announce, we are dropping this evidence, as the lyrics go, told me they got an Addy go, got location go, look on the news, see your son screaming no, no, while then playing on the projector screen the news clip of Quando Rondo screaming no on the sidewalk.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Which is a very corrupt and wrong way of dropping evidence, as yes, the evidence being dropped is great, but the judge is gonna have this in the back of his head when deciding if Durk should get a bond or not. This even resulted in Charleston White saying,
this is a real victory. Now that demonic force was a dark force. It was a dark energy. I think we now finally get to put that fire out. I don't think we'll hear drill music ever again. I don't think drill rappers would ever be celebrated ever again. Down goes the drill. So this is a victory for law-abiding Americans who like hip-hop music but don't like the killing part of it.
As with Charleston White not liking the idea of Durk coming out, Durk's lawyer, Drew Finling, would reveal his release date, giving detail on the prosecutors ruining their own case.
The other allegation they backed away from, which is huge, it shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy.
As he mentioned, the case is getting weaker for the prosecutors, who can now no longer use Durk's lyrics. This resulted in Durk's lawyer calling the charges a joke. The feds only had lyric-based evidence against him, but now they're not even using it.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Ak. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
While Drew was doing interviews, waiting for the judge's decision, 1 week later, he would finally decide. Durk would be seen entering the courtroom. As the news read, the feds say Lil Durk would need to go completely broke and give up all of his property to be granted a bond. They fear he might use his fortune to place bounties on witnesses.
No bond for Lil Durk. Let me tell you about what options he has left and why the bond was denied this time. Now, he's in federal court on a murder for hire charge where he faces the possibility of life in prison. What that means is, under the federal law, it is presumed that you do not get a bond because the charge and the penalty are so serious. So your lawyer has to go out there and show why you should get a bond. Now, ultimately, what the district judge decided to deny the bond on was a couple of factors. There's a couple $1 million being put up, but it's not all being put up by Durk. Some of it is from the label, and ultimately Durk has a lot more money and assets than what's being put up. So if I let him out on bond and he tries to flee, he's going to have tons of assets and money at his disposal.
As with the feds afraid Durk might go after witnesses, it seemed like he already did. And it's what happened to OTF Jam that OTF Vonni wants to avoid at all costs. It was announced, has anyone heard from OTF Jam after he snitched on Durk? Several OTF members are gone, but low-key he has been gone for months, as he was outed for being a snitch on DJ Vlad's show against Lil Durk.
There's a guy named OTF Jam.
That was wired.
Very ironic name.
Jam
now
got
he
him
put
in
everyone in a jam.
Did 12 years.
12
got
years.
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This. Made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case. But eventually he flipped.
As once this hit news headlines, the news read, OTF Jam was found by OTF members hiding out in a crib outside of Atlanta. Sources claim Jam was dealt a punishment for snitching on OTF owner Lil Durk, alongside a photo of a crime scene outside of a house Jam was staying at, where no one has heard from him since. But you may be wondering, what did Jam provide? It reads, over 230 gigs of digital evidence, which includes audio recordings, video surveillance, and 20,000 pages of reports, are being processed for discovery, as OTF Jam supplied them with that evidence. Where it would be this Instagram Live where Lil Durk first noticed that Jam was wearing a wire the entire time.
Hey, kid. Check on your man. I heard you got his head. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I used to have a dare. Architect. Having a who? I'm having a dare. Schools out of town.
As with the police revealing all of this evidence now in 2025, it answers what Lil Durk said in 2024 when he was on an interview with DJ Academics.
I see shit from a mile away. I don't think people realize that. I could have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know your way is gonna cooperate.
As news outlets began saying, Lil Durk has been playing 3D chess the entire time. He knew OTF Jam was gonna cooperate, as Durk would later speak further on this, saying that he doesn't even allow his friends to know where he lives anymore. He gives no information to anyone. You can tell just how sad he is knowing Jam snitched.
Nobody is ever allowed to my house. It be my best friend never been in my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
Promise. Like it's people like that I just don't allow around my girl and my kids, cause it's like I'm just a different type. I'm not the. We're gonna have family night at Durk house tonight. It's the. You gotta watch.
Everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah, we gotta. Everybody getting watched. We gotta watch everybody. Hey, you go too. Hey, they go too close to them kids. You know what to do. Like that's how I play. Like I don't play.
Now, OTF Jam is the same man Lil Durk gifted $50,000 to during this IG Live. However, the police saved this IG Live for one reason, and I want you to watch the people in the background.
You know what's name, bro? Steady crying, huh? He's steady crying. Feed him. Feed him. Get in the milk, bro. Get in the milk, so baby mama get the trigger, bro.
You see that?
Feed
for my
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. This too much. Crazy though. Sitting up there doing all this, sneak this and the internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Just buy what I want, do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof
Bro got out what?
You know that
How many you did now?
How many years I did it now?
Yeah, that's your latest bit. 12?
12.
That boy popped out 12 years.
Yeah.
So much money. We really just get in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
Now, the feds investigated those in the background of the IG Live. They noticed those same men were jewelry shopping with King Von, making it very clear they were all very close friends, and if anyone were want to get revenge for Von's passing, it would be these guys.
Solitary stone.
We just looked at him, man.
Let's go over there.
What up, bro?
Boss, you good? My boy. Let's go.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money man stepped in.
With OTF Jam's snitching file now being released in the court system, academics would ask Durk's lawyer, would Lil Durk entertain a plea deal? Drew says no, we're going all the way for one reason.
You know, likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen like this seems like it's a do or die thing. This is kind of like it's gonna be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it, just entertain it, because that's your job to listen to it and maybe present it to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy commitment case. It's an all or nothing case, and he did not participate in a conspiracy to commit. And so there is no alternative. It's a life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to go to 12 people.
They're going all the way for one specific reason. Durk's lawyers have been keeping this in their back pocket to win the case in the end, explaining that all Lil Durk does online and in music is express his First Amendment right.
There's a First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is violent.
As it looks so good for Lil Durk, lawyers online are even saying he's gonna be released from jail just like Young Thug was.
We've seen it happen quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say it's been persuasive. I think the biggest example we look at is Young Thug down in Atlanta. They took a lot of his lyrics, and even though technically speaking, ultimately they got a conviction, he actually walked out on time served. Most of the people that were prosecuted didn't end up being convicted, and I don't think anybody would call that prosecution a successful prosecution. And so, you've got freedom of speech issues. Does it mean that just because I'm saying something in a rap song, it typically is a rap song, does that mean that I actually did something? And this is an extra interesting twist here because Lil Durk's attorney is saying, well, This song was actually released months before.
As he went on to explain how the prosecutors likely don't understand rap culture, saying that this happened in many cases, just like Young Thug's.
Yeah, and I'll go out on a limb and say that sometimes prosecutors don't necessarily understand hip-hop culture. It's almost like a text without context. So you got to really understand the time, the place, the audience. You know, sometimes they might speak in ways that seem direct to somebody that's outside of the culture, but doesn't necessarily, but can mean several things to someone inside the culture. So it would certainly be a flub, big time, right? But it wouldn't be the first time that such a thing has happened where somebody looking through the window, particularly of hip hop culture, doesn't understand what's being said other than their desired use of it.
But the feds do understand one thing about hip-hop, that is, everyone is connected in one way or another. This is why it's a massive coincidence that Brick Baby was just arrested. The news wrote, prosecutors delayed Durk's chance of being released on bond to gather last-minute evidence against him for the next hearing. Chatter of a new snitch is going around the courtroom, which doesn't include OTF Vonni. This is likely due to the arrest of Brick Baby. Now, just a couple weeks ago, it was shared, Big U, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, and others were all arrested in a rolling 60s takedown, which is when it was shared. Lawyers and sources believe Brick Baby, who was arrested in the latest takedown, will snitch against OTF rapper Lil Durk. The timings of both arrests make lawyers believe the feds can force Brick Baby to give up everything on Durk. The feds originally only targeted Durk for M for Hire because of Brick Baby. 3 years ago, we did a live stream saying you can't say Durk never slid for Von because they got Lil Pap, literally snitching on Lil Durk. But once Durk was arrested, Brick Baby just so happened to be live streaming, where he would then share his old interview where he mentioned it, making it look exactly like the reason federal attention began following Lil Durk.
This just said, 5 Chicago gang members with ties to Lil Durk, OTF, accused of being hired to alive Quando Rondo in the LA incidents where Lil Pop was unalive. Suspects face the penalty if convicted.
But was this an attempted hit or?
Well, they can't say that no more.
Then they put you as
Why?
Like,
who died? You can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh, who?
Federal charges in California.
Nah, because Lil Pop.
So this is about the.
Oh. What's that?
But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more.
But did you know Brick Baby also said something even worse? When the feds brought up Durk's lyrics of, told me they got an Addy go, got location go, they connected it to another Brick Baby situation, which goes and reads, Brick Baby says he would have dropped Quando Rondo's location if Durk had asked him because he's loyal to him, saying what the Addy was.
Why is that? Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't. But at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. Who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, had he had asked me, I probably would have been coke if he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said if he make the call right now, I'd something.
Right.
With all of these people snitching against Lil Durk, do you believe Durk is going to get sentenced to prison or beat the case? Comment down below, and if you're a fan of Durk, leave a like on the video.